Hello, Sharks.
Hello.
What's up?
Hi.
My name is Kevin Klein.
And I'm his best friend of over 30 years, Joshua Green from Los Angeles, California.
We're here today seeking $200,000 and your friendship for 7.5% of the greatest company ever. Now, Sharks, what if I told you that our product could instantly make you smarter,
More attractive,
younger?
and even regrow hair.
Well, guess what? It can't do any of those things. Sorry, Mr. Wonderful.
There are
Almost
just
3
some
million
things in life
evaluation.
that will never get any better.
But there are some things in life that can get better, like pizza when you pair it with Pie Wine. Pie Wine is a sweet, sparkling, easy drinking canned table wine that goes great with your favorite slice. That's why we say Pie Wine is the OG pizza wine.
AKA,
Pizza's new side piece.
AKA,
It puts the I in pizza.
AKA.
Dude, that's it. We're out of slogans. We knew we had to reimagine and reintroduce to the masses what pizza-loving Italians have known for generations. That pizza goes best with a sweet, slightly bubbling wine, traditionally known as a Lambrusco.
That's why we say
Born in Italy.
perfected in California.
So, Sharks, who's ready to meet the greatest thing to happen to pizza since the pepperoni?
And turn any old pizza
Into a pizza party with Pie Wine.
We are back with another breakdown episode. I'm your host, Dave, almost 10-year intellectual property attorney, dealing with everything from patents to trademarks, trade secrets, copyrights, you name it. I deal with it as an IP attorney. Now, this is interesting for many reasons. Number one, I thought they killed the pitch. It'll be interesting with the sales, and I'm pretty sure Mr. Wonderful will get off into that. You're talking about $200,000 for 7%. Man, looking back, I guess early on in the Shark Tank episode or history, people were good to be able to evaluate their company at $500,000. Now these days, people are $2-3 million evaluations like it's no big deal. So that's always interesting when I watch these newer episodes. This is the inaugural episode of season 15. So no, that's an interesting thing. Now, man, I actually love the concept, and obviously we know Italy wine is huge. I mean, yeah, wine or pizza is huge as well as wine. You know, Americans we love pizza as well, and we love wine as well. So it'll be interesting. The three things that I'll try to look for when I'm going through these is how simple is the product, how effective is the product, and what's the market size. I think, obviously it seems like it's wine. The product is simple. We'll see what the Sharks think about it to see how effective is it. A lot of times you can also tell that by the sales and the reviews that you're getting on the product. And then number three, the market. Now this is interesting because the wine, I think that market is very saturated. But this seems like this is a niche within the saturated wine market, that being specifically for pizzas, which again, it's a niche, but it's a big niche. So again, there can still be money involved in that. Now, the other interesting thing is we all know, if you kind of watch any type of Shark Tank episodes over the years, that obviously Kevin is a big wine connoisseur. Now, does he buy into it, or does he think it's a conflict of interest with another company that he owns? We'll see about that. So that's just kind of some of my initial thoughts. We'll take a look at the website and some social media afterwards, but let's get back into it and see what the Sharks think about it. Seems like we have a guest shark, Candace, as well. So keep that in mind. All right, let's go.
Good job.
All right.
Salute. Wow, you guys understood the assignment.
I like the
thank you.
tips.
Nice
You
pitch.
did.
And of course, it'd be rude if we were drinking alone, so we brought you
There
all
you go.
three of our SKUs to try.
The red is our sweet za, the blue is our white
Classic
crisp,
crisp.
and the black is our world famous red.
Let's stand up.
Okay,
Very big tradition for
This is
many,
Shark
many
Tank
years
tradition.
here in the tank. Un, deux, trois. Chevalier de
Not sure what that means.
It's pretty darn good. Thank you. We brought you some pizza, by the way.
They're very, very good.
I've never had wine with pizza, and I didn't realize it's so delicious.
We're thinking there's never been an official drink of pizza. Now, they've tried to tell us to drink beer
some
with
people
pizza.
think it's beer.
Yeah, but beer with pizza flavor
terrible.
profiles don't work.
I agree with that.
I need
Too
something with bubbles,
filling.
so I think of a cola,
Exactly.
and I never thought that
But you're
I
a
could-
man. You're a grown man. Boom.
There you go. I like
Exactly.
Here's what's confusing for me. I pick up the can. I don't understand what this is. It says world famous red, pizza, and new side piece, pie. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, this has something to do with pizza, but I don't know what it is. I do find it really confusing. And I think it's going to hurt you.
Well, why don't we find out if that issue is valid or not?
No, and again, I think she brings up a good point. I actually was interviewing someone earlier on in this week for the YouTube channel, the podcast. That interview is going to come out in about a month or so, so stay tuned for that. Where he kind of created this toaster, the first world smart toaster that has a touch screen on it. He was talking about, okay, we have this smart toaster where you can kind of customize your heating experience based on different foods as opposed to your traditional toaster, which that kind of heating system goes back to the 1800s and the 1900s. But he was talking about how if he didn't put a screen on it so that people can, when they see the box, they know that this thing is different, not only just because they're saying it, but they can actually kind of see how different it is. They maybe wouldn't get the what they're doing with this touch screen toaster and all the different features and benefits, advantages that it provides. And man, that's an interesting thing that I'm finding out when you're coming up with a new product. Okay, just putting it on a packaging of, I guess, the newness of it or the novelty, if you will, that doesn't always hit home with the customers in terms of them picking up the box and being able to understand, okay, what is it? I mean, which is a good thing for social media, because now social media, a lot of times with marketing, advertising, and promotion, it allows you to kind of tell that story. Whereas typically if you're in a convenience store, whether it's a Walmart or a Costco or Kroger, you're picking up a box, you don't know, okay, I know it's wine and it seems like it's some way dealing with pizza, but I guess I maybe don't get it. I don't get what's different about it compared to maybe other wines or the benefits and stuff like that. So being able to tell that story, I think, is a big part of it. Sometimes it's tough just by kind of being able to put it on a package and put it on the store shelf. But social media has allowed you to be able to tell that story, which kind of helps out with the sales and the revenue from it. So definitely keep that in mind. I think what Lori is saying is a valid point. Like if I'm going to a Walmart and I'm picking this up off the shelf, I'm like, okay, I know it's somehow dealing with pizza and wine, but okay, so what? So being able to tell that story, I think that's where the online presence comes in. Let's see what else she has to say about it. It seems like Damien was saying something as well.
What are your sales?
Yeah.
So we launched 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
So that's
2
new.
weeks ago, and here's the good news as of as early as today.
We have distribution in 8 states. We've already had distributor commitments for between $300,000 and $400,000 already, and we're talking to 18 other states. Nevada.
Well,
no
first of all,
sell-through data.
congratulations.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a congratulations for sure, but it seems like all this stuff is hypotheticals. We launched 2 weeks ago. Typically, some companies on the Shark Tank have been there for or been in existence for years upon years, at least maybe 6-7 months. This is the first time I've ever seen a company that comes on the show having been in existence or at least launched for 2 weeks. That's interesting even from a production standpoint. A lot of time the producers of a Shark Tank say, hey man, you're too new, you're too fresh. Give it some time and come back. So it's interesting that the Shark Tank producers at the time of them coming on the show, they had only been launched for 2 weeks, which is very new. And I would imagine that that's going to get paused for the investors, or at least in this case, the sharks. So that's very interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Happy day.
No sell-through data,
What does that mean for
Right.
dollars?
$300,000 to $400,000 in wholesale dollars.
Okay.
And we expect that to be well north of $500,000 in 30 days. And what we're projecting for the first 6 months is about
Yeah,
$1.5
them
million in the end of the year, about
theoretical
$6.5
estimate.
million.
Something I'm really curious about. You started this 2 weeks ago. This can't possibly be your full-time job, is it?
We've been working on this for 2 years. I actually host a morning radio show on
Oh.
K-Rock in Los Angeles.
I knew you were familiar.
I'm a radio guy.
I'm looking at you and I'm like, I've seen your face.
I host the morning radio show. I've been doing morning radio for about 20 years. So I'm in the fun business.
Nice.
And this
Yes,
guy's the
you
smart
are.
one. I'm the smart ass. That's why we kind of complement each other.
My background is I went to law school, got a master's in accounting. I worked at Bulge Bracket Investment Banking, and now I help run one of the largest spatial computing video game companies in the country.
Wow.
I'm the CFO of the company. I came in to help turn
guys,
around the business.
This is a side hustle for you.
No, it's not a side hustle. I sold my 401k to do this. Like, I wish I could
Wow. How much
So
have you
what
invested in the
happens if we
business?
say. We've invested over $300,000.
Between the two of you, so are you
Correct.
50-50 partners?
We're
Did you
50-50.
put in
Now that's interesting. And hey, I have a big turn of events at the end of this. That's you guys going to have to let me know your comments or your thoughts in the comment section when I get to that. On, do you think they're telling the truth? Do you think they're not telling the truth? It's some interesting things that's going on behind the scenes that I'm going to bring up later. And I'm watching this video for the first time live. I don't watch these things. I don't watch these things before I do it because I want to get my real authentic thoughts. I do get a chance to kind of do the social media, kind of just browse their social media, just kind of get an idea of what they're doing and whatnot, their website, that type of a thing. But man, it'll be interesting based on that comment when I get to the end of this video and we'll start going over their social media, their website. He said hey, his 401k, cash that out, put that into this piece of the Pie Wine Company. So that's an interesting thing. Let's like I said, it's gonna all kind of come full circle, or maybe not full circle at the end of this thing, but just keep that in mind for when we get to the end.
Martin, we also have
money.
She's put in a little more than me.
What have you done?
What have I done? I ended up talking to my wife. We sold the house.
Wow.
So that we could use some of that money.
So you're all in.
We're
Yeah, we're all
invested.
in. Big time.
What are their margins?
So it costs us $1.50 right now to make. We have a plan to get it down to $1.25. With more production, we'll sell to distributors for $3.25.
$3.25 a
And then
can.
it would
Nice.
sell
Amazing
if you were at
margin.
Ralph's or Kroger or whatever, around $5, $5.50.
There are other canned sparkling wines.
There are.
Who is your biggest competitor? Because I feel like the market is really saturated.
Looking
agree.
at comps, Bev is one of the comps that came out, and
That just got sold.
Bev just got sold. They went out with a pre-money valuation before they had any sales at $7 million. We're doing a discount because the truth is we want a shark. And I just want to circle back to like what started this. I've known him since we were 8 years old. I love the guy. He's a big part of my life. I have an amazing wife and kids. The last 40 years have been a little challenging because my wife, unfortunately, has metastatic cancer.
Oh, no.
And
Wow.
doing something with your best friend is really exciting. And I want to teach my kids hard work is so important. Like nothing's given. It's not a side hustle. I zeroed out my 401k. I don't think about like, oh, saving for the future.
Do you guys think that all that money from him zeroing out, and I'm not sure what it was, it could have been, I would imagine, it seems like a little bit more seasoned. Maybe I would imagine at least it was a couple $100,000. Do you think that all of that money went into Pie Wine, or do you think he said he run a video game company? Do you think a lot of that money went into that or went elsewhere? Leave that in the comments. That's very interesting. Like I said, it's going to be a crazy turn of events when we kind of get to the end. But do you think all of his money from him zeroing out his 401k actually went into the business, or do you think it went into other businesses or something else altogether? That's something to keep in mind here as we kind of get through this one.
I wanted to do a business with him because I love him and I want to see him successful. I'm in business. He hasn't been, but I want him to see some of the successes I've had. And I love the idea and I wanted to be a part of it.
Okay, guys.
I appreciate that.
Fantastic presentation. Good news is this category is growing. For me, I'm launching my own sparkling line, so I can't compete with myself, obviously. But I hope you get a deal here. It can't be me. I'm out.
Conflict
Thank you
of
so much
interest.
for.
We predicted which shark would be the first one to go out, and look at this. I knew it. I knew it. Isn't that amazing? We knew.
Well, you're right.
I said that
We
earlier.
sold that after the show today.
Guys,
let me
you know,
go
I gotta
next,
keep
right?
that. I look good.
Look, I love what you guys are doing. The branding makes perfect sense to me. This is right on target, right on trend, right? Problem for me is I've got Beatbox Beverage that's going to do $100 million in sales this year.
Crazy.
Just raised at a $200 million valuation. So for those reasons, I'm out.
So
Well, thank you
guys,
so much,
I'm
Mark.
trying to think, where can I add value in this?
Could I make you guys all an offer? If you don't like the deal, we'll buy you out after a year. No strings attached.
You know what? That is very honorable. It's not about liking the deal. It's about there's so many big players coming into this market that I don't know if I'm really ready to take that fight on, especially when there's other sharks right here that are doing the same exact thing. So with that being said, I'm out.
Thank you, Dan.
Look, for me, there's just a few boxes that aren't checked yet.
Mm.
It's just
Newness
too
of it.
early to invest. I don't know enough yet, so I'm sorry. I wish you good luck,
Thank you
but
so
I'm
much,
out.
Lori.
Listen, I think you found a hyper niche here, right? It's kitschy, it's fun. I think it could potentially have mass appeal, but it's a little
like the
too
packaging.
kitschy for me. It's not the space that I like to play in. I just don't think I'm your target market, and I'm
Before you
worried.
say it, I proposed to my wife with a ring inside of a Sprinkles cupcake.
Oh, you're killing me. I think your product is really good. You guys are awesome, but it's just not the right investment for me. And so for that reason, I'm out.
We will respectfully give you all another chance to come back in right now
Any chance?
while we're here.
Thank you, guys. It was a
Thank you so much.
fantastic
Congrats, guys.
Thank you.
guys.
Go kill it. Go kill it.
Oh man, hey, all right, he took it aside. What a way to start the season, man. You're talking about starting the season 15, and everybody is out, no deal. I mean, I actually like the packaging. I think the packaging is interesting. Like one of the sharks said, it'd be interesting if they kind of get the idea of, okay, pizza wine. I know they have the pizza on there, but I guess do consumers picking up the can? Do they understand that? Just at first glance there, the margins were all right. It seems like they're doing more so of a wholesale to big box retailers so that they can sell at retail, and the margins weren't that great. Seemed like the Sharks had some competing ideas. Now, pie wine, which is interesting, and I looked this up. It seems like, and I'm not sure if it was these guys, but they're using it as a trademark brand, and it looks like the trademark, they don't have rights to the trademark, which is interesting. It's actually the company that did have rights to the trademark. They actually seemed like they kind of let the mark go, or didn't file the necessary paperwork to have it registered or issued as an actual trademark, which is interesting. But I guess, again, just an IP attorney, just kind of giving my kind of thoughts on it from an IP perspective. Anytime you're doing something that relates to a brand, I would want to make sure that I have rights, trademarks to the extent that it's patents available, trade secrets. I'm protecting all my intellectual property. I thought it was interesting. And again, it may very well be these guys, but they let, and this was somebody from early 2000s that maybe had filed a trademark application and it was allowed, but just because it was allowed, now you have to file some additional paperwork to have it issued. That didn't happen as of last year, and the trademark wouldn't ban it. So again, I'm not sure. Let me see. Actually, I'm gonna bring it up here. I forget these guys' name. First, before I do that, let me stop sharing my screen because I want to look at something, the website here, and then we're going to look at the website and then some social media here. So this is their website. I think the website, again, this whole fun thing that they talked about. I definitely think is a fun thing. Again, you don't see a TM or an actual R for pie wine or pie as they're using it. So that lets me know that it isn't a registered trademark. Come on, man. Let's see. I don't know what's going on. That is not a registered trademark. We're just doing it. I'm not sure what's going on. So we're going to take a look at, they seem like they still have some social media. Let's go to their YouTube. I'd be interested in seeing, they don't have anything on their YouTube, interestingly enough. Let's check out their, what's the name? They don't have at least a trademark on this just from looking at their website. And okay, they're saying TM for pie. So it seems like maybe it was a company called Pie Wine. That's maybe what it was. It was a company that was Pie Wine that was in a wine category that had, seems like a trademark. Seems like I'm seeing a TM. You can kind of barely see it, but it's a TM after the word pie. So maybe they have they don't have a registered trademark, but they are using the brand name Pie P, and then you have the wine bottle as an I, and then you have the E. They're using that is a trademark term. So at least that's good that they're kind of showing, even though it's not registered, they're showing that, hey, we are using this in a trademark sense. Let me go to the IG, because this is where, at least in my opinion, it gets pretty interesting. There we go. Where, okay, they talked about the OG pizza wine as seen on Shark Tank, born in Italy, perfected in California. They talked about that. Now this is interesting because if you go to this one, and this is a crazy video.
You thought I was done with these stupid things, didn't you? Well, that's where you're wrong. Next time you got to pray a little harder.
And before I play that, you can see the comments on it. So you guys have to let me know. Again, this is my first time. I haven't followed this ahead of time. You guys have to let me know what happened. This is after Shark Tank, obviously. I think this Shark Tank episode aired September 2023. It is May of 2024, where the day I'm doing this video. So it's not even maybe 6 months afterwards. You would think that, hey, the company is still riding high off of these Shark Tank episodes and the Shark Tank publicity, and it seem like they at least have had some sales of it. But as you can tell, just kind of looking at some comments, if you told me this was an AI, so this is interesting. I'm not going to play it, but he has pie wine, a can of pie wine in the background. He doesn't kind of necessarily talk about it outside of just having it, but he's like sniffing pizza sauce and all that. So I'm not going to play that because I think that was wild. But again, you just see some of the comments. Is Pie Wine back available for purchase yet? This seems like this is Kevin. He got the OMG. Like I said, he's snorting pizza seasoning, so that's why you have to snort it. Then you're super interesting. My wife says this was whatever. Look a little too comfortable snorting a pizza. Can you talk about whatever? So I mean, again, this is interesting stuff. This, like I said, this was 2 days ago. But if you look at even some of the other,
All right, it's pizza wine review time.
again, this is a couple months ago, ordered months, and this person off with their hair is saying they ordered months ago and now order has been canceled and refunded. So you guys have to let me know for the people who been following pizza wine or Pie Wine and have ordered. It seems like they're canceling orders and refunding, which is crazy to me because they I guess aired. The episode just aired in September. You would think that they'll still be riding high off that publication. Again, why are you posting this, telling people to buy when you're canceling and refunding orders? So this was 2 months ago. So if it's May now, this was around March time that they're doing these videos on IG, but they're canceling orders and refunding and send some my way. Nice Jack, whatever. Love the show, Kevin. Looking forward to trying it once you have in stock. So they talking about, I'm not sure if it's a stock thing or they're canceling a business. I'm not sure. Like I said, this is 2 months ago, which is still crazy that you're doing videos 2 months between each other. Again, restock. When is the restock happening? So again, this is a very interesting thing. Let's go to this video. This is 15 weeks ago. When's the restock? So this is dang near around the time that the Shark Tank episode. They're talking about when's the restock. You guys have to let me know in the comment section. Have you got your Pie Wine? And to the extent that you did it and you tried it, is it good? Is it bad? This is very interesting that they're kind of having maybe these issues 6 months or within 6 months of the Shark Tank episode airing. Typically people will still be riding high off of that the publicity of the Shark Tank, but maybe not in this case. So I mean, that's interesting stuff. Let me kind of bring it back on myself. I'm not sure. The Pie Wine, I think it was definitely a niche product, as Candace talked about. I think the niche, it was a fun product. I think the niche could have been something, but again, the reason I'm saying keep with the guy, the other partner who kind of runs the video game company, I thought it was interesting because if you're zeroing out your 401k and you're not getting product out to the people, to the consumers, less than 6 months after your video, after the Shark Tank episode air, but you're saying you put everything into this company. Even Kevin, the radio host who seems like had the original idea for it, he's talking about him and his wife sold his house to put the money into the business. But again, they're maybe having trouble restocking and getting product out to the consumers. Is it more to this story? I'm not sure. I'm gonna try to kind of look more into it and see what's going on. But I think it's very interesting that you're saying one of the owners zeroed out the 401k or zeroed out the 401k to put all the money into the business. The other owner sold his house to put money into the business. And again, less than 6 months after that episode air, you should still be riding high off the publicity of it. You're not kind of restocking, and consumers you're canceling orders and refunding money. Is it a big thing? Has the business folded? Again, please let me know in the comments. If you're closer to this situation, please let me know in the comments what happened. This is a very interesting thing, but I guess that's the up and down nature of the business. It seems like Sharks loved it, but again, I'm not sure if they're just put a hold on things as they kind of deal with some things in the background, or if they just shut the doors. Like I said, they haven't put out a whole lot of content. This was interesting. This video that came out 2 days ago, but again, people are asking, hey, when is the wine going to be available for purchase? So it seems like people are interested in it to at least some degree. But again, you're still putting out videos at least 2 days ago, but the one before that was 8 weeks ago, and then the one before that was 15 weeks ago. So not putting a whole lot of content out on social media. And so I don't know. It's interesting, but I guess that's my thoughts as an IP attorney. It seems like they were at least looking to protect the brand, which is I'm always a big proponent of. No patents associated with this, probably no trade secrets either, even though with a drink, if you had a special formula, I would go the trade secret route as opposed to the patent route on it. Seems like they were at least trying to protect the trademark slogan at some point. Seems like that has kind of fizzed out as well. So let me know, is the company on the up and up, or is it kind of closed doors and on to something else? It seems like that's very quick to close the doors and be on to something else when you sold your house to go all in on the business and zeroed out your 401k. So were the owners kind of telling a fib, or just kind of trying to get the money, telling that story to get the money? Or did something happen behind the scenes that we're not privy to that forced the guys to kind of put a pause on thing and restock it? I mean, and kind of evaluate things. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. And until the next time, take care. Peace.